when they drop that bomb.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Ella. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here at Comic-Con Midlands, our first time ever in Telford. You've been signing autographs, taking photos, and meeting your adoring fans all day. How's it been going for you?
It's been good. This is my first ever Comic-Con.
Wow! Yay!
It's been great. I've had a really great time meeting everyone.
It is sensory overload though, isn't it? I mean, it's a lot to take in.
You know, I kind of thrive in chaos. I love it. Yeah, it hasn't been that bad. It's honestly been really fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We have met some beautiful people here in Telford, and if you guys are here for the first time, I'm going to ask a few questions and fangirl myself. Then we have the standing microphone right over there, so you guys can ask questions. We'll get interactive. But we have to talk about what everyone is talking about, Fallout, which I think, by the way, that's probably the most cosplay I've seen today. So what's it like to see people in cosplay from something that you've been involved in, whether it's Fallout or anything else?
It honestly never ever gets old. It's just amazing, and also I really just appreciate how much effort people put into getting dressed up and coming out here and meeting me. It's just like it's so lovely. It doesn't ever get old. It's just like really sweet.
They're really sweet people here. Everyone's had amazing manners so far. Now, out of all the projects that you've done, is there something that you look back and you're particularly proud of? You think, wow, that was something that meant a lot to me, or I really liked the performance that I gave?
I think Fallout comes to mind first because it's the hardest thing I've ever done. It was a really tough shoot, and it was a long shoot, and it was very physically demanding every day, and it's just a slog. It's hard to do, but it's also the thing I'm the most proud of because it was so rewarding. Like every day, even though it was really hard not to do these crazy stunts and just being very tired, it still felt like every day we were making something really great and special. So
people love it. I mean, but what is it like to prepare for a role like that? I mean, physically, mentally, how did you prepare?
Well, first of all, I had to go to the gym because
Ew.
I know it was disgusting. No, I would not consider myself a fit, in shape person. I eat donuts for breakfast. But no, I had to go to the gym because I knew I was going to have a lot of stunts. I played the games. How ridiculous that that's what we consider work. Like, I played some video games, that's work.
I gotta do my research, hand me the controller.
So stupid. And I did that, I played the games, and then I just did a lot. I mean, the thing about doing an adaptation is there's so much research you can do. I mean, there's like 25 years of history behind the games. There's so much lore to sink your teeth into, and I'm, obviously mainly focusing on Vault Tech, Vault Dwellers, and watching a lot of films, other really difficult work like that. Yeah.
The gym part does sound grueling, but the other parts sound kind of fun. Now, where are my gamers at in the crowd? Yeah, we always have a dedicated section. You look enthusiastic about that, sir. There's always a gamers area dedicated to video games. Before this, were you a gamer yourself? And if so, what were you playing? Oh, no.
No, I wasn't a gamer. I used to play, I had a Nintendo DS when I was a kid, and I played Nintendogs, but I keep sort of forgetting about it, and then I'd come back and they would have run away, so I'd have to start again every single time, so I got frustrated and quit it. I did do Sims, but no, I'm not a gamer. Fallout was, I think, the first ever game I ever played properly, and I'm really not very good at it. Just before anyone gets excited, I'm terrible at it. Apparently I need to invert the controls, whatever that means, I don't know.
So we won't see you in the gaming area.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Any Lego games?
No.
Even I'm okay with those, and I'm horrible.
Maybe I gotta try the Lego game.
When in doubt, go Lego. It's true. We have so many fans of Fallout here, but there's also some other amazing things that you're doing. And you share a lot of what you're doing on Instagram. If you're not following Ella Purnell on Instagram, do yourself a favor, especially for my fashion gals. You seem to really love sharing some of your fashion shoots and kind of your red carpet looks. I saw you in a Miu outfit that was stunning. But what's it like to share your looks and all of your life, really, on the internet, on social media?
Well, in terms of like the fashion element of that question, I would never dress myself up like that in real life. Like I wear these shoes. I think I've worn these shoes every day for 700 days in a row. It's all I do, or trainers, and it's really fun to like. This is relatively new to me, to walk into a photo shoot and you know, they've got this 60s concept. They've, you know, all of these different looks, and then at the end of it, you look in the mirror. I feel like I'm in Princess Diaries, where you turn it around and then they move the cards, and you're like, wow, like it's a completely different style every single time, and it's fun. And I also just really want to appreciate all of the people who put so much time and effort into those photo shoots. You know, like the artistic directors and the hair and makeup and the costume, stylists, and it's just. It's art, you know, it's artistry, and it's just really cool to have a platform to be able to show that off.
And you do it so well. It's so fun, especially for me, loving fashion, to see all of your looks. And you do always tag the artistic, creative people that have helped you with the look, and there's always a theme. We love that. But getting into character, does hair and makeup and a costume, as it were, does it help you become that character?
Yeah, it really does. I actually didn't realize how important it was to me until I started filming the movie I'm doing at the moment. I don't think I can say what she looks like, but I'll say it's not a haircut you've ever seen before. And you know, when you're reading the script, you sort of, just like when you're reading a book or anything, you picture how you think those characters will look, and everyone's like idea in their head's going to be different. When I read the script, sometimes I think, oh, she'll have like blue eyes and blonde hair, and then I sit down and they like, you know, do a bowl cut, and you're like, right, okay. And it completely changes how you play the character. It completely informs that decision. It's just like, it's going to sound really like actory, pretentious, but it like changes the way that you carry yourself, the way you walk.
It's really interesting to us, whether you're in the industry or not. It's interesting to see kind of what goes on in your mind, and if, you know, physical elements actually help you get into character. We've been talking to all of these amazing actors today. How wonderful has everyone been today, guys? They've been wonderful. Your questions have been great, and we're going to get to your questions in just a moment. But were there certain actors that you looked up to before you wanted to get into the business, that you wanted to either emulate or that really inspired you to get into the entertainment industry?
You know, I had a funny way into the industry. I started acting when I was really young. I got my first film when I was 11, and I did an advert when I was 8. And so my idols at the time were like the kids from Spy Kids, because I thought they were really cool and I wanted to be a spy.
They were very cool.
They were cool, they still are cool. Right?
Shark Boy and Lava Girl, I mean, they really were doing it. They were doing it.
That film holds up, okay?
It's iconic in all the weirdest ways.
Yeah. I don't know, I went through a phase when I was a teenager, and I would just play the youngest of other actors. Like I played young Keira Knightley in my first film, and there was young Angelina Jolie, and then young Margot Robbie. And so I just sort of got to like meet them and watch them, and I guess become like huge fans of them in the process of doing it. Does that make sense? Like I didn't go to drama school or anything like that. I just watched them and just literally copied them, imitated them. Yeah.
Mentioning like amazing, talented actors, actresses, but I have to talk to you about Maleficent. So I wasn't sure. I'm a big Disney fan of Orlando. Well, it's ingrained in you. But I wasn't sure what to think of Maleficent when I first saw it. I saw the first one, and then I was hooked to see the second one. I was so impressed with not only the CGI, should I say, the special effects, but the story, and I was just really into the movie more than I thought I would be. What was your experience like working on Maleficent?
Okay, so I have to tell you, I'm not the girl everyone thinks I am in Maleficent. This is like a strange thing that has occurred over the course of my career. Everyone thinks I'm the young little girl in Maleficent. I'm not. That's a lovely young lady called Isabel Malloy, fantastic actress. I was actually called at the last minute. I was in hospital because I had appendicitis and I had my appendix removed. And I got a call from my agent being like, they need you on set tomorrow to play teenage Maleficent. And so I filmed for 2 weeks with stitches in my stomach, in wires, because she had to fly, say.
Did you tell them this, or is this like a...
No, I didn't tell them.
You didn't mention it?
I think somewhere on my CV it says I like speak French and I horse ride. I don't do either of those things. Everyone lies on their resume, right? Everyone does that.
Just between us, it's fine.
Everybody does that. Anyway, I was like, yeah, sure, I can absolutely be in a harness tomorrow. So I did that, and then they had to shorten the movie, and so when you watch the movie, I'm in it for about 1.5 seconds. And
it's a very special 1.5
It's a really good, I heard it's the best 1.5 seconds of the whole
all the awards come.
Don't tell Angelina, but that's what I heard. So, there we are. That's the scoop is. The scoop.
It's what we call a Comic-Con exclusive. We love to hear that. So final question for me, and you guys, if you want to get to the microphone, we're gonna, yes. This has been my gal. Every time we have a question, she always has impressive questions. No pressure, no pressure. Oh, she made notes. I love that. She came prepared. Final question for me. So I was obviously starstruck to meet many people here today, yourself included. Again, big fashion girls. Just like, what's she going to be wearing? I can't wait to meet you. But is there anyone at this Comic-Con or another Comic-Con? What's your first one, actually? So let's say this Comic-Con or anyone on set or at an event that you've met, a premiere, anyone that you've been like, okay, fangirl, stay cool.
Jodie Foster, I just met her at a press thing, and I just love her. I loved her as an actress, I love her as a director. I watched her masterclass that she does, and it's phenomenal. And I never, ever approach people. I'm actually, like, I get a bit shy, and I just had to do it, and I was like shaking, and she was so nice to me, but I was so nervous to meet her. She's amazing.
I love to hear that because a lot of times people talk about being shy at Comic-Cons, and a lot of people meet people here for the first time, getting on stage to do cosplay. You know, people are shy or asking a question. So we'd love to hear your vulnerability with that. So thank you. We've got a question from our lovely gal in the front.
Hi. So to begin with, my sister and I first fell in love with you in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. You were just fantastic in that. And then we recently binge watched Yellow Jackets. What was it like to see your friends eat you?
Yeah, it was weird. I was filming Fallout. I was in New York. Yeah, and I sort of like, honestly, I was quite overwhelmed because we had a really intense shooting schedule, and so I've been getting the season 2 scripts, but I haven't really been reading them. And then all of a sudden I was getting all these selfies from like Stephen and Sophie and Courtney of like them with my like charred dead. Sorry if no one's seen it, I've absolutely just spoiled the whole show. Yeah, and it was a bit disconcerting, it's a bit weird, but also quite funny. I don't know what that says about me, it's about
Yeah. Thank you.
I have a quick question because I'm going to forget if you don't mind. I saw an interview, again, lightly stalking your Instagram, an interview with you and Jimmy Fallon, who I absolutely love from SNL, and we were talking about your American accent, and I have to ask you, just again for my own fangirl moment, how did you get to your American accent? Who and what did you study to get into the American accent? Because most people at Monopoly, they've told us that they studied like Eminem and rap music and things like that, and that worked for them.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I haven't heard that. I did not study Eminem. Maybe I should. Maybe that's my next role.
I forget it. It was he plays Chuck Bass in Gossip Girl. Ed Westwick. That's what he said.
Honestly, I have a fantastic dialect coach that I met when I was filming Sweet Bits when I was 21, and she's just really good, and she's funny, and it's really fun. It's easy to work with people who are fun because the time goes fast. You really commit to the work. I also think generally it's easier for British actors to do American accents because we grow up watching American TV. You know, I grew up watching Good Friends or Simpsons. It's a terrible reference, but here we are.
They're American.
They're
just yellow.
American. Just cartoons. Yeah, I think it's just imitation, isn't it? You just sort of like listen and repeat. Sometimes I do find myself, if I hear an interesting voice or accent and I'm alone, I will talk to myself. Like I'll sit on my sofa and just like talk to myself like a crazy person because, yeah, I want to try and master it.
So interesting. I love that. Here's a question right here. Hello.
Hi, about how earlier you said you played the Fallout games, what's your main skill you used?
Main what?
Skill.
Oh. I can't remember. Look, here's my experience playing the Fallout games. It took me about a week to get, I played Fallout 4 for context. It took me about a week to get out of the vault because I couldn't figure out how to get past the rat roaches. And I literally Googled like how to kill the rat roaches. And I was just, it took me a long time to master the controls. I think gamers, people who, you know, same with anyone who plays an instrument, it becomes second nature. When you're new to the gaming world, I spend so much time looking at my hands, and then by the time I've looked up, I've been killed. So it's hard to sort of like do that all the time, and I was struggling with this perspective. I did get out the vault, I met the robot, and then I got a bit distracted and I went for a swim. In the game, not in real life. And I haven't really made it much further past my swim, to be honest.
Thank you.
Swimming on a video game. Sounds relaxing.
It was. I mean, I was like, that was the thing about Fallout I love is like, you can do so many things, you know, like you just get distracted by all the side quests. And like, you can collect things, right? So I like went into all the houses when you got out of the vault. I was just collecting hairpins. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I'll pick up a bobby pin. It did come in handy because I got to unlock something with my bobby pin.
See, it pays to be a klepto. Just so you know, great advice from Val. Hey, how are you?
Well, one of my favourite things is travelling, and as I watched you in a previous interview, I forget where it was, long story short, you did a scene where you were walking alongside a ship of all things in the middle of the desert. So the question is, where was that filmed, and what was it like seeing and doing such a scene? And I mean, I think it was filmed in Africa or somewhere, but would you ever recommend it as someone who's keen to travel for my next holiday? Because I'm the type of guy who loves to just go to any film destination, say, oh, this is where such and such was done.
Okay, you might have some trouble getting to this ship, I'll tell you why.
Really?
Yeah, because it was a 6-hour helicopter ride.
It's a sinking feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. So we filmed in Namibia, and there's a town, like a German town in Africa.
Oh, I think they used that in the recent remake of The Prisoner.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
in Luderitz?
Yeah, I think it was like a German town, as you mentioned, but they did a remake with Ian McKellen and Jim Caviezel from Passion of the Christ as The Prisoner, and I think they used that as the actual village, so that's something maybe you might like to look at the filming after you've done this.
Yeah, I have to watch that. I mean, it's an amazing place. And yeah, it's right on the Skeleton Coast, so we took that shipwreck that you're talking about, we took a 6-hour helicopter ride, literally to the middle of nowhere, and then landed, and then some guys in like a quad bike came and picked us up and then drove us to the ship. And there were, I mean, it's just completely in the middle, you know, there's seals on the beach, and like hyenas and jackals living in the ship. I mean, and we did it in about, maybe we did like an hour of filming, and it's on the screen for like 8 seconds.
Well, it was 8 seconds, but it was still quite an iconic thing, because I'm quite amazed how, even though it's somewhere far away, they could always make something in a different country make you think it's in the actual country, and it does have that post-apocalyptic feel, but it does also make you wonder, how the friggin' hell did that thing go so far? Did they have to drive it Uncle Albert from Only Fools and Horses? I mean, how the hell did that happen? But thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And good luck with the new series of Fallout, by the way.
Thank you.
Hello. First of all, thank you for coming. It's been absolutely amazing meeting you. Fallout's been a massive part of my life ever since I was 13, which is probably way too young to be playing that game. But my question for you is, who or what would you like to see put into the second season of Fallout, as they've teased a very famous creature at the end of the first season?
That is a very good question. Who or what would I like to see? Look, I'm going to say just more puppies. But puppies that belong to Lucy. My ideal season 2 experience is that Lucy adopts 14 puppies and carries them in her arms the whole time. That's all I want.
Just like an army of dogs, so when she goes around.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't get to meet any of the dogs that they used. I know. It's really selfish.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Quick question for me. Have you ever seen those interviews that they do with the celebrities and they have them? You have to be. Listen, YouTube, book it now. We've got to have her on the puppy show. That's distracting, right? They're asking you questions, but you're like, oh my god, your little toots.
They did one with the same breed of dog that they used in the film, in the show. Belgian Malinois, have I got that? I might have got that wrong. They are so cute, but I couldn't answer anything. They kept being like, Ella, because I was just so distracted.
Your girl.
Yeah.
We'll go for a walk. I love that. Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
Hi, hello. Hi again, it's Sarah. I have a question for you, Ella. I'm asking about, since you're doing a lot of shows now, and they're amazing, you're an amazing actress. What sort of emotion do you enjoy playing most? Not just like happy stuff, like what, even if it's like sad or like angry or whatever, when you play it, you're like, oh, I want to do that again.
That's a really good question. I've never ever been asked that question before. I really like doing comedy. I know that's not emotional. I really do like doing comedy because it's fun. You tend to because you do it so much, right? Say you're doing one scene and it's 4 pages, you're doing it all day. So you're playing that emotion all day. So anything gets in the way after a while. Even if you have to play happy, by the end you're just like, and then if you're playing sad, you just want to be happy again. So anything does get a bit annoying, but what I will say is, it's always really fun doing, this might sound really psychotic. It's always really fun doing something like angry. An emotion that you don't get to do in real life. Well, not don't get to, I guess I can be angry if I want, but I'm not really angry.
People get mad at you back. So, and you're
Yeah, there's
mad as much as
consequences, right? Yeah, I can't do any of that stuff in real life, can I? No, it's always fun to do angry because you get to like really lose your temper and like, I don't know, just lose your inhibition a little bit. It's what, you know, we kind of really love to do that. I've always got to blow a steam once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, is it just
Sure.
Oh, okay. Because like, what comes to mind that where I wish you would have shown anger was like in the fight scene in Yellow Jackets and with Shauna. Because like, yeah, it was mostly sadness on your part, anger on Sophia's, and I was like, oh, I want you to be angry back.
But, and I agree with that, but I think when you're acting, when we did that scene, because we tried it so many different ways, right? We tried angry, we tried sad, and then it's up to the director to cut it together however they want. And the reason why I think it works so well is you haven't seen Sean angry. You know, and you have to understand when you're playing a role, yes, your role, your emotions, but also you in context of the show, your role within, you know, what's your purpose in the whole show? What do you represent? What do you symbolize? And I think that moment, it's actually about, you know, Shauna stepping into her power. That moment is not about Jackie. It feels like it is, but it's not. It's about Shauna really just getting to say her piece. And so it's so powerful when Jackie, a feisty person, just, she's got nothing left, you know? I don't know.
Thank you.
Great question. Great question. Thank you so much. You look amazing. Welcome.
Hi Emma. I know mostly from playing Jinx in Arcane, and I just wanted to ask a bit more about how that experience voicing Jinx was for you.
I mean, it was amazing. It's always funny doing voiceover stuff because it takes a lot longer. So you do maybe an episode, and then 3 months later you'll do another episode, and then 3 months later you'll do another episode. So you sort of forget what happened, and you have to reread the script and like refresh yourself. And also you're not, for Arcane at least, I'm doing it by myself. So you're not reading opposite other actors. So then when you actually get to see the show at the end, you're like, oh, that's what he sounds like. Because again, you've got your own idea of what it is, but you've got no idea, you know, what it's going to come out like. It's always such a treat to watch the finished product because you've got no clue what it's going to look like or sound like.
Did you enjoy the show?
Yeah.
At the end of it?
Yeah. I feel like it's always weird when you say, I like something that I'm in, because it sounds like a bit conceited, but like, yeah, I really liked Arcane.
How you feeling? Really good, thanks. Yeah, nice to be in Telford.